So it looks like WrestleMania 37 may have a brand new location. This is a breaking story right now, first reported by Gary Cassidy, former colleague of mine over at Inside the Ropes. Big up, Gary. He said that there are tentative plans in place for WrestleMania 37 to emanate from Tampa, Florida, instead of Inglewood, California, at SoFi Stadium. Now, sources close to the situation have told Inside the Ropes that WWE has put plans in place for WrestleMania 37 to emanate from Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida. This is previously what was planned to be the location of WrestleMania 36 earlier this year. However, instead, of course, WrestleMania 36 took place over 2 days, over a weekend, from the Performance Center, an empty WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. Now, at the moment, as of right now, as of the schedule, and this was announced prior to WrestleMania 36, was that WrestleMania 37 would go Hollywood, with SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California, hosting the show of shows, the grandest stage of them all, the granddaddy of them all, whatever you want to call it. That was the plan for WrestleMania once again to go Hollywood for the first time since WrestleMania 21, as WrestleMania 37 was scheduled to take place from SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. Now, there is no word at the moment as to if this is official. Obviously, WWE are going to come out and deny this. I'll touch on that in a second as well. And there's no word yet as to if the date scheduled for the SoFi Stadium show, March 28th, or rather 2021, will remain the same for when WrestleMania 37 is moved to Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida. But it's been told to Inside the Ropes, it's been told to Gary Cassidy that WWE has, quote, locked down most buildings in Tampa for potential events across WrestleMania weekend. Now, this comes on top of a lot of reports last week being stated that WWE is planning to depart the WWE Thunderdome upon the expiration of the residency contract at the Amway Center in Orlando, Florida. Talents and WWE superstars, employees, etc. have been told to prepare to travel in the near future for upcoming television tapings. Triple H actually discussed the matter on the NXT pre-takeover media call this week. He basically said, and it was very interesting. Of course, he was very non-committal. Things haven't been confirmed about this at all. But he reiterated that running shows in a variety of cities and states isn't going to happen for a long time. But he did mention that there is a possibility of going around one city or one state, Florida, which they're basing at the moment. But he also stated that the safety was paramount to anything like that. So he kind of was very non-committal, as you would expect. Now, what's interesting here as well is that on the 1st of September, so about a month ago, WrestleVotes on Twitter, who are very, very reputable, they've broken several stories in the past. They're very, as I said, got a great reputation. They're very rarely wrong, and they've been first to break a lot of stories. Now, on the 1st of September, they posted a tweet that said, teaser, hearing a story that WWE will likely deny outright due to certain contractual obligations at this time. Need to hear from another source first before we put it out. Stand by. Now, over a month later, they have since followed up on this after this story about WrestleMania 37 has broken, saying, quote, those contractual obligations are with the state of California regarding WrestleMania. The news of WWE looking into Tampa Bay is accurate, very accurate, end quote. So it looks like there is a lot of legs to this story as to the future of WrestleMania 37. Now, first of all, I will say WWE really doesn't want to have to do what they did for WrestleMania 36. They don't want to have it from the Performance Center. They don't want to have it from the Thunderdome. They certainly don't want to have any fans at the show. They want fans there. They need fans at WrestleMania. It's the biggest show of the year. It's a spectacle, all of it. WWE will do everything they can to get fans into the arena by the time WrestleMania comes around. Now, do I think that WrestleMania 37 at Raymond James Stadium, I mean, how many fans is that? Is it like 70,000, 80,000? Do I think that WrestleMania 37 is going to have 60, 70,000 people in attendance? I do not think so. I don't think so. Because as far as we can tell, this pandemic isn't going anywhere anytime soon. When it comes to vaccines and mass production of vaccines, most people, and when I say people, scientists and people involved in that process are saying we might have a vaccine by the end of the year, but in terms of mass production, you're looking at the summer or the winter of 2021 at the earliest. So I don't think and this is just my opinion, I don't think we're going to have 60, 70,000 fans at WrestleMania. That's why they're moving it. That's why they're planning on moving it from California to Florida. Now, moving it from California to Florida absolutely makes a lot of sense from WWE's point of view. They're based in Florida. During this whole pandemic, they've been based in Florida. Of course, they have the WWE Performance Center based in Florida, and that's really their hub. Of course, you've got the corporate offices in Stamford, Connecticut, but in terms of the talent and in terms of putting on shows, it's all been based out of Florida, and that's for a variety of reasons. Obviously, one being they have the Performance Center in Florida. Two being because they have that Performance Center in Florida, a lot of the talent is local to Florida, so they're not flying across country, they're not going from state to state. Obviously, they've had issues with talent that don't live in Florida. Some talents don't live in Florida. You've had the likes of Bobby Roode, right? He returned this week on Monday Night Raw, and he had issues because he was flying in from Canada every week for TV. Those issues they look to be slowly overcoming them, but the reason they've been staying in Florida, one, is because the talent is close, two, they have the Performance Center, but three, maybe most importantly, they have a very good relationship with the state of Florida. They have a very good relationship with the governor of Florida. You've got to remember when the pandemic first really hit around March, April time, WWE was facing, like many businesses at the time and productions, facing a lockdown. They were looking at closing down. But, wouldn't you know it, the Florida governor, who has had a sizable donation to his re-election campaign and the current administration in charge of politics in America, deemed WWE as an essential business that needed to stay open. So wouldn't you know it, they stayed open, and we had all of those TVs and pay-per-views from the WWE Performance Center. So while this pandemic is going on, it doesn't make any sense from a WWE point of view to leave Florida, because once they leave the state and they start going into other states, other governors, other politicians, and other state regulatory boards and other state athletic commissions, that's when they'll come into trouble. Support for WrestleNews 365 is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Now, Manscaped, for all of my UK fans out there, Manscaped just launched in the UK. Over here in the United Kingdom, we have gone for years and years and years without using the right tools for the job. But now you can be one of the first men in England to experience their life-changing product. But it's not just limited to all of the great fans over here in the UK. This offer goes worldwide, so all of my friends over in America and around the world that are listening to this offer still does apply for you. You can still use our code. But I've got to tell you a quick story first. Now, there have been so many times, right? I'm a guy. You gotta groom down there, fellas, right? That's the most important thing. You gotta keep yourself trimmed. You gotta keep yourself proper. And a lot of the time, I've been guilty of this, of using the wrong tools for the job. I've had incidences, I'm not afraid to say it, where things have been nicked, snagged, or in fact cut down there because I wasn't being careful enough and using the right equipment. Now that just shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen. You don't want to be worrying about cutting yourself down there. Do you know how painful that is? I can tell you, it hurts quite a lot. And I wish and hope to God it never happens to me again, and it won't happen to me ever again because I'm using Manscaped products. That's why Manscaped has redesigned the electric trimmer. The Manscaped engineering team has perfected the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created. Big statement, but it's absolutely true. They have just released the new and improved Lawnmower 3.0 in the UK. It's also available around the world as well. Their third generation trimmer features a cutting edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents. So those cuts and snags that I was telling you about before are a thing of the past. And let me tell you, when I tell you this is premium, I mean premium. The battery will last up to 90 minutes so you can get a longer, perfect shave. And not only that, you don't want to be cutting yourself and trimming yourself all over the bathroom, getting hair all over the place. That's just disgusting. The lawnmower has a waterproof technology that allows you to groom in the shower, so no more mess. And one of the coolest features, one of my favorite features about the lawnmower is the LED light, which illuminates grooming areas for a closer and more precise trimming experience. So you can shave longer, you can shave more precisely, and you can shave in the shower. What more did I need to tell you? They've also upgraded to a 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology, and let's not forget about the charging stand. You can show off your mower loud and proud because this intelligently designed stand is a convenient charging dock powered by USB. So, If you are listening to me speak right now, I want you to experience it firsthand for yourself. Let's get that bush to tush clean, and you can get 20% off and free shipping. Yeah, you heard me right there. 20% off and free shipping. All you have to do is use the code 365wrestle at manscaped.com. Make your testes their besties. That's 20% off and free shipping. Not only are you getting 20% off, you're getting free shipping as well with the code 365wrestle at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com, and use the code 365wrestle. Your balls will thank you. And that will be the case when it comes to WrestleMania in California. Now, as WrestleVotes mentioned there, and this is very important to consider as well, they do have contractual obligations to California at the moment. So ultimately, they're going to have to find a way to get out of those obligations to California, whether or not it's California going to WWE and saying, for health and safety reasons, we can't have WrestleMania at SoFi Stadium. We just can't do that right now. And I don't know if that will be the case, but I'm sure WWE is, like Gary Cassidy has said and like WrestleVotes said, they're working on it. When this news comes out, it gets double checked about 2 or 3 times. So I'm very confident that there is legs to this story. Now that this is being reported, I would say it's probably very, very unlikely we have WrestleMania 37 from SoFi Stadium in California next year. Which is a shame, because if you've seen some of the recent NFL games that have happened from SoFi Stadium, man, what a venue. Man, what a venue. It is beautiful. It is state of the art. It is, honestly, it's got to be up there with one of the best stadiums in the world. It really does have to be up there with one of the best stadiums in the world right now, because it's so new and it's just, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's got a capacity of 70,000, but when you have shows like the Super Bowl or WrestleMania or the World Cup or the Summer Olympics, which is what it was built for, it can actually get to 100,000, and I think that's what WWE was looking for. They were looking for a WrestleMania with 100,000 people there. Man, that ain't happening. That just isn't happening. It's just not happening. 100,000 people just isn't happening, and I'm sure WWE, this brand new stadium that cost billions and billions of dollars to build, they wanted to run it, and if the world was normal, they absolutely would have, but you know, it's just not going to happen. So as far as Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida, it can be 60 to 70,000. I would say is about right when it comes to stuff for like the likes of WrestleMania. So they ain't going to have that. They're not going to have 60 or 70,000 people there. I don't know. It depends what the situation is when it comes to a percentage of capacity that they're allowed in at the time. So we'll have to wait and see for that. At the moment, most places it's 10 or 15%. That would put it at 6,000 people, maybe 7,000 people attending WrestleMania 37 next year. I don't know if it will be increased by then, if it's 20%, 30%. If that is the case, you're looking at maybe 12, 18,000 people attending WrestleMania 37, and that would WWE would love that. Absolutely, WWE would love that. Ultimately, though, when it comes to the WrestleMania moving and when it comes to where's WrestleMania 37 going to be, I think Triple H said it best on the conference call this week. Ultimately, it comes down to safety, and in my opinion, if it's deemed that the only safe way to do it is to do it in a Thunderdome, do it in the Thunderdome. Now, I don't think WWE will, as Gary Cassidy mentioned in his article. The residency inside the Amway Center, inside the Thunderdome, runs until the end of October 31st. And I think if WWE wanted to extend that, they would have probably have done that by now. As the report mentioned, WWE has been scouting buildings and venues for upcoming tapings after October. Now, if they want to get fans into the arenas, they have to be outside. And I'm sure WWE has looked at that. But I suppose you also have to look at the time of year it is. It is coming into the winter months. It is coming into October, November, and December. I don't know. Do you want to attend a WWE show in December outside? I don't know. Again, I'm not super familiar when it comes to the climate in Florida. Obviously, it's one of the hottest states, but you could have some bad rainstorms and all of this sort of stuff. I don't know. It's something to consider, certainly. So there'll be more coming out about this story. As I mentioned, it has been breaking over the last 15 to 20 minutes or so. WrestleMania 37 is looking to be moved from SoFi Stadium in Hollywood in California, or Inglewood, California, to Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida, the original location of WrestleMania 36. Will it happen? I think so. I think so. Given that these reports are coming out now, I think it's very, very likely. As to when we'll get an official confirmation from WWE, there's still a long way to go between now and WrestleMania, so maybe we don't hear anything for certainly the next couple of months. But as we're heading into January, I suppose then people need to start making plans if they want to go to WrestleMania. I don't think WrestleMania is certainly not going to be, as I mentioned, 60, 70,000 people in the stadium. I don't think we're going to have people flying in from all over the world. That just seems like a nightmare in the current climate right now. So I think it's going to be a local situation in Florida. I don't think we're going to get people from the UK flying in. You can't even get the talent flying in, let alone fans. So that's not going to happen. But there's a lot going on with this story. So as we hear any updates, I'll be sure to do another video here on the channel. But what are your thoughts on WrestleMania 37 potentially moving from SoFi Stadium in California to Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll be sure to respond and reply to all of your comments. Really enjoy interacting with you guys. If you've enjoyed this video, please do smash a like on the like button as well. It really does help us out here on YouTube. Go up the rankings and get into people's recommendation feeds if we haven't seen our videos previously. But most importantly, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to Wrestling News 365. You can do that by clicking the bottom right hand corner of the screen right now. Or if you wait a few seconds, there'll be a subscribe button at the end of this video along with another video for you to watch. Thank you very much for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.